Mr. Chairman, the exemption would bring us.
It's kind of crazy.
Not ask that question.
Sometimes the.
Well, I think what is overlooked is the degree of disability. You know, I think the more
That's
severe the
disturbing.
disability, the more need for the exemption.
Yeah.
And there's certainly some gradation there. I have more of that, but more for later. We're on we're on TV now.
We are good with the audio.
Oh, yeah, but he's, thank you.
I know, he's
He's
wonderful.
competent.
They set the standard.
He does
does
set
set
the
the
standard for so many things.
It's mostly punctuality.
That's good. That's important.
I used to play on street corners.
I was every Monday night in December.
Oh, yeah.
Street, what do you play?
Once recorders?
I play. I've been playing tuba in the brass ensemble for Salvation Army Red Kettle on Monday nights in Advent at St. Charles Jewel on the west side.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Cool, because they are low on donations. I just read that article.
Well, we got quite a few on those nights. The only real problem is I had an assessor. I ran and said, "Hey, I heard you playing at the Salvation Army Kettle," and they said, "Oh, that's cool. What song were we playing when you walked by?" She goes, "I didn't recognize it. They're standard Christmas carols. That's not so good."
No,
Song was, buddy, can you loan me a nickel?
Yeah, it probably should have been. It was probably something like we were trying to play Silent Night. Nope, never heard of it.
How cool is that?
Well, it's good to know we got more musicians in the crowd. That's
Brought us
good.
over 20-year meetings.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm fine with that. We can have a little live music.
Definition of cool might be different from everyone else's.
Being the fact that it's 9:01.
All right, yeah, yeah. So
I'm a yes for
given
that, by
that,
the way.
the
Thumbs.
time being 9:02, I'd like to get this meeting started for Kane County's Public Service Committee. Clerk, please call the roll for attendance. And the date is December 22nd, 2022.
Gums here.
Lewis,
Lewis here.
Surgis,
Surges here.
Pepe,
Pepe here.
Williams,
Williams here.
Young,
Young here.
Hurog, and Sanchez.
Sanchez present.
We have quorum.
Okay, if someone could please ask
Mr.
for
Chair, I
unanimous.
put forward a motion of unanimous approval for the minutes of November 17.
Thank you, Mr. Tepe. Any objection to that? The minutes are approved. Public comment. Do we have anyone in person or online who wishes to give a public comment at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Tepe.
before we get started, I want to note that there are several reports that are not attached to the notes associated. So the finance and the treasurer's reports, among a couple of others, are not attached.
Okay, yeah, I was just made aware at least one report wasn't attached. So the finance report also.
There was a hiccup in the system. I'm working on sending them to everybody now.
Yeah, the new Legistar system has been cantankerous, to say the least. Right word.
That's the
You
word
like
for
it.
the day.
It is the word for the day. It's a challenge word, how to use it.
I can't even spell cantankerous.
Yes, but you can be it.
All right, all right. This is a little too early. I haven't had coffee. You guys clearly have. Okay, so
That's my job.
Oh, only kidding, Cliff.
all right, well, we'll move on to the recorder. I know the report is on file, so there were no updates for this month. So if you have any questions, just reach out to Ms. Wegman's office. Treasurer collector, Mr. Lawson.
Okay, congratulations, Chairman Sanchez, and to members of this committee. Glad you were appointed to a committee that I get to report into. Some of you may wonder why the treasurer reports to two different standing committees, both public service and finance. And the answer is because of the dual role and nature of the office. On December 1st, 3 weeks ago, Chief Judge Clint Hull administered two oaths to me, both as collector and then as treasurer. There are also two separate insurance bonds that backstop the risks of any serious errors that I might make. I come here to this committee in the tax collector capacity, and it's really a privilege to get a chance to work with you and with Mark Armstrong and Jack Cunningham's John Emerson. I brought with me this morning not only the report that we submitted about a week ago, and I fully appreciate the complexity of the new system, but I've brought with me Maria Herrera and Cindy Christopher. Would you two rise, please? On the left, we have Cindy Christopher, who's in charge of customer service, and Maria Herrera on the right is our deputy treasurer. I'd like to thank both of them for their Maria's 26 years of service, and Cindy, it's been over a year now. It's 1 year, but experience beyond her years. So it's wonderful. Thank you very much for your help. Thanks. You may remember that Maria stood in as the acting treasurer during the process of selecting Mike Kilburn. And so we're very grateful for her in-depth information. It's a pleasure to work with both them and their staffs. We intend on the tax collection side, we're on the assessments, it's Mark Armstrong, as you know, and on the extension, John Emerson, Jack Cunningham's office. We intend to align all of our work with what Mark Armstrong experiences. Anybody who's written 2 books, lectured all over the state, teaches the course on what we do. We just follow his expertise. And then finally, my 3 priorities as treasurer are: number 1, run a smooth office, and that depends on taking good care of our people, make an extra $2 million more per year over the budget projection. This is to provide additional resources to be at the disposal of the board, and then to provide useful and understandable financial information to board members and taxpayers. We prepared and submitted the routine monthly report for your consideration and adoption about a week ago. And that's what I have.
Any questions for the treasurer's office? Madam Chair.
Welcome, Mr. Lawson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman.
I have a question for you regarding the $2 million. I understand for this year, but is that compounded so that in your term of office each year, you're going to be guaranteeing an additional $2 million in investment revenue? I'm just curious.
Okay, first of all, I never use the word guarantee as a financial person. And no, I have said that it's $2 million a year more than what's in the base projection that's in the 23 fiscal year
Okay,
23 budget.
just for this year then.
No, it's every year, but it's not compounded. Compounded, well, it's,
understand.
as you know, the definition.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Just a question for understanding and clarity.
And, you know, more on that at the finance committee, where it's more the treasurer function rather than the tax collector function.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Armstrong, Supervisor of Assessments.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My report begins on page 33 of your packet. A couple of things to lift up on here. At the bottom of page 33, there's a little note about the beginning of the 2023 tax cycle, which actually began on December 2nd, 2022. That's when by law, I'm required to assemble all township assessors and instruct them in the uniformity of their functions for the coming year. In the past year, I presented a program at the Illinois Property Assessment Institute on the instructional assembly itself, and I dug into a little history, and I discovered the first instructional assemblies were held in 1898. And after the Revenue Act of 1898 was passed, the Office of Supervisor of Assessments was created. At that time, it was assigned to the county treasurer's office. So at that time, Chris, you would have had to have 3 oaths. And that lasted until 1967, when it became a separate office within Kane County. Now, something I was interested in is just how long have the tenures been? So I contacted the county clerk's office, who did a great job of giving me a list of every supervisor of assessments. That's before when they were treasurers, up to 67 and then after. And I was startled to find out that on October 22nd, I was in office 5,865 days, which is one day longer than my predecessor, which made me the longest serving Kane County Supervisor of Assessments just in time for its sesquicentennial year in office. So there's your second word of the day, is sesquicentennial. My normal statistical data is published on page 34 of your report. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for the Supervisor of Assessments? Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Armstrong.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone here for Regional Office of Education? Okay, no updates this month from them. Veterans Assistance Commission.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My monthly report is attached in your agenda packets. There's nothing extremely out of tolerance there with the exception of our claims inventory, which remains high as a result of new claims from new federal legislation that was passed in August. Those claims will begin to be worked by the VA on January 1st. So we should see that trend down, which is a good thing. But I don't have anything more on my monthly report, but I do want to take a moment and recognize my staff. Steve, Jesus, and Nate, go ahead and stand up. Jesus and Nate just passed their Certified Veteran Advocate training program, which is a 3-year course program. There's an extremely difficult test that's taken at the end. The course is proctored or taught by, and the test is proctored by attorneys. And we are the only office now in the state of Illinois, and I think the United States, that is comprised solely of the advanced title of Certified Veteran Advocate. So just want to recognize them and their hard work. And it's because of their dedication, their knowledge, and their passion for helping our veterans that we're able to keep a smaller and more lean, more efficient and effective office. And they just do a fantastic job. You all received a copy of our annual report in your mailboxes upstairs. I'll talk more about that next month and next month's meeting. But they were responsible, our staff was responsible for bringing in $5.7 million in new benefits to Kane County veterans this past fiscal year. So they just did an exceptional job. That's a record for our office, previously shattered from 2016 when we brought in $4.6 million. So just did an outstanding job, and I wanted to take a moment to recognize them, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Veterans Assistance Commission?
Mr. Chairman, Surges.
Mr. Surges?
Jared, I just want to make sure that we give Jake and his entire team the credit that they're due. These guys operate far and above baseline, award-winning in the state of Illinois, and it is just so appreciated, and I don't want it to go unnoticed.
Absolutely, I agree. Madam Chair, you had.
Thank you. And I just want to say congratulations to you and your team. That is amazing. It's just completely outstanding. But as a very brief summary for our new members, what services do you provide?
Sure. So we act as the no wrong door for veterans in Kane County. So if there's a veterans issue across any governmental entity, whether that be at the local level, tax assessments, or the state of Illinois with veterans returning from overseas are eligible for a bonus from the state of Illinois, to their federal VA disability, healthcare, education, and home loan benefits, we are there to help with that. And if we can't do if we can't help directly, then we know who can, and we have those connections to give a warm handoff to do that. We have a great network of folks. It's not just us in our office, but we have excellent veteran advocates in the community colleges at the state of Illinois across many governmental entities. We're very fortunate here in Kane County. So we help veterans with anything veteran related they need help with.
Mr. Pollack?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry, just a quick point. When I was on the board, you had to listen to me, Jake, and you had to, when I had questions, you did. But just recently, I brought a couple people that had asked me things that, you didn't have to do it. And you had the questions, you guys have rock stars back there. Your staff is incredible. So how fast you got things done, the intricacies of working with the feds on these things, and you guys know everything. You do too, but you have a staff, and it just want to make sure that it's recognized. I'm sorry it had to be at a meeting when everyone else is doing it, but you deserve it. So thank you.
It's really the staff. I don't do much.
Oh, now we know. Any other questions or comments for the veterans? Mr. Tepe?
Step here, whenever a veteran asks me any kind of question, I'll bring up Jake's department and they either know about it or if they haven't been referred to them, I immediately say call and I always hear back positive results. So it's really heartening, to be able to deal with people and know that when you refer them somewhere, they're going to be taken care of. So you and your staff do a phenomenal job with that, Jake. So
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman.
Thank you.
County Clerk's Office, Mr. Pollock.
Thank you. You have a copy of our report. Just highlight that since we're at the end of the fiscal year, we generated 1.6 million in revenue. So we were above our projection. So more money is always a good thing coming in. And we hope to continue in that direction. Might be our high water mark. So hopefully as more people, again, continue to travel, get married, all those other things, we'll have a good year and can provide more money to the general fund. Any questions about that? Otherwise, we can go to resolutions.
Yeah, we do have two resolutions. I'll call for a motion and a second on them, allow you to describe them to us, and we'll open it up to discussion. So if I could have a motion and a second for authorizing the resolution authorizing 2023 budget adjustment and addendum to warranty, support, and licensing agreement with Hart InterCivic for voting system.
A motion.
And
Gums
Ms.
a
Lewis,
second.
motions, Gums seconds. Mr. Powell?
Thank you. Housekeeping resolution, the 3-year agreement that we had with Hart covered all the equipment we had at the time. We had purchased some other equipment that wasn't in that original agreement. So this just covers that piece.
Any questions on this? No. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gums. Gums, aye.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Surgis. Mr. Surgis,
He's looking for the.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't click fast enough. Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Young,
Young, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
passes.
All right, and if I can get a motion and a second for an ordinance decreasing the death certificate fee for active duty or retired service members of the United States military.
Gums so moves.
Tepe moves, Gums seconds. Mr. Pollock?
Thank you. The state legislature passed a bill that mandates that the clerk's office provide a free copy of a death certificate for a certain, it's a pretty narrow definition of a retired military member. It's not just someone that, served for a year and came back. There's a pretty strict definition about it, but basically we're just changing our fee structure with your assistance so that we can follow the law.
Any questions on this one? Sounds like a good move to make. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Surgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Young,
Young, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
passes.
Nothing for other business that I'm aware of. Do we have a lawyer in the audience? We got closed session minutes. I don't see anything on the agenda, but just in case.
Caitlin's here.
Okay. All right, well, we'll entertain a motion and a second to go into executive session to discuss the release of closed session minutes.
I'll make the motion. Williams.
I'll
Debbie,
second.
second.
Who's moves, Tepe seconds. Clerk, please call the roll.
Gums, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Surgis,
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Young,
Young, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
approved.
Okay, everyone online that's joining us in the closed session, please accept the invite. As always, be aware we are live streaming. So until I give you the okay, anything you say will be going out live to the public. Please accept those invites and I'll let you know when we're ready to go again.
It's always great to see you.
She's back. I can do the same thing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Exciting.
We're at.
Now, look at that.
How you doing today, Rick?
A bet, Jared. How are you?
Here, I'll take it over, Chair.
Yes.
Just waiting for YouTube. One more moment.
We're waiting.
Hey, Blair, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sturgis. Hey, I usually don't dial in. That works really well with that breakout room for the executive session.
Well, thank you.
I haven't had a chance to use that before. That's nice.
We're glad you're happy, Cliff.
Important.
It was important to have you there. Okay, you're in open session.
All right. Clerk, please call roll for attendance in open session.
Gums,
Gums here.
Lewis,
Who's here?
Surges,
Sturgis here.
Pepe,
Steppy here.
Williams,
Williams here.
Young,
Young here.
Sanchez.
Sanchez present.
We have quorum.
We now need I need a motion and a second to vote on the release of closed session minutes as outlined in Exhibit A.
Gums so moves.
Gums seconds. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Lewis,
Who's yes?
Surges,
Sturgis, yes.
Pepe,
Steppy, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Young,
Young, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Approved.
I need a motion for unanimous consent to place the reports on file.
So moved.
Any objections? Reports are placed on file and the reports have been distributed at this point? Right. Okay. So everyone has a copy now.
Actually, the report from the treasurer was distributed and it appears as though the Word document was there as well as the PDF, and it did not print correctly onto the PDF document. But the report from the finance department was not distributed. No.
Okay, we'll get that sent out today, but still some hiccups with this new system. We're just gonna have to grin and bear it as we go along. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved
Williams.
by Tepe, second by Williams. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you for being here. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.